Hello, hello. Welcome to 13 Signs Tarot. Today we're going to be doing a pick a card, and this pick a card is going to be how does this person's higher self feel about the connection with you, okay? So I am going to be collaborating with Leo in the third house, okay? He's going to be doing some piles for you guys today. So I'm not going to tell you who's doing which pile. You're going to channel these energies right here. Okay, we got Tiger's Eye, we have the River Rock, we have the Amethyst Pendulum, and we have a Rose Quartz pile. You pick whichever pile you're drawn to, and he or I may be doing your reading. Trust me, he's verified, okay? We have the same rising, obviously, because I actually have Leo in the third house as well. So I feel like y'all gonna be getting, a double dose of awesomeness in this reading. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Make sure you guys go follow him, show him love on his channel. I love his readings. And yeah, I'll be quiet so you guys can go ahead and pick your pile.
Yo, what's up with it? This your boy Noonie. This Leo in the third house. If you chose the Tiger's Eye pile, this is going to be your reading for what does their higher self think about this connection. So let's see what their higher self thinks about this connection. So it could be dealing with Scorpio, Capricorn energy, Gemini energy. Could be dealing with, Scorpio, Capricorn, or Gemini energy. All right. So their higher self thinks that this would be a very conflict-full type of relationship. A lot of power struggles. Kind of like another pile, but this would be different. Like this would definitely be a transformative relationship as well, because we have eighth house here. So this would be about weighing pros and cons. This would be a relationship where you guys would definitely have to get very deep about expressing how you feel. Communication would be key to this relationship. There would be a need for a lot of communicating about things that maybe are taboo to you, or things that are maybe against what you feel are comforting, or something like the way that you feel about things would change. Like maybe what you consider as like emotionally fulfilling. That would need to be communicated. Maybe you guys share a different love language, and so your higher self, their higher self would know this. So there would be a need to clarify. That would be big here. It'd be a need to clarify boundaries, rules, intentions. What things can go and won't go. What resources are yours. There was because eighth house represents other people's money. Sometimes it represents resources. It also represents power struggles as well, because it's Plutonian energy. All right. Because it's ruled by Scorpio, so there's that Plutonian energy. So there's that energy of transforming outdated beliefs, transforming outdated ways of being, outdated behaviors, emotional responses, fear of intimacy. That's what Scorpio rules. So it'd be dealing with that, and fear of other people taking advantage of you, or fear of other people using sex, money, or resources against you in a way to gain control. So this whole relationship would play on that dynamic, and there would be a need to discuss clearly. This is what their higher self knows, that there would be a need to discuss this clearly, and basically be able to explain what it is that they have in their mind, put into words what they would envision. This would be a big opportunity for growth, because the first card that came out was Square, and Square is about tension, stress, and squares in astrology create the largest opportunity for growth. All right, they're meant for opportunities of growth. They're areas where you would normally be weak. Think of them as strength and endurance, or strength training. As you go through resistance of a square, that's where you learn new skills, new abilities, and you become stronger in an area where you weren't strong at. So more likely, your higher self knows that this relationship would cause you to communicate a lot about your feelings, communicate a lot about what you're afraid of, get closer. Allowing someone to get closer to you. It would also deal with scandal, or that energy of gossip. It would be like your relationship would be maybe non-traditional, but it would be full of a lot of love, because eighth house can sometimes represent non-traditional type of relationships. It's taboo, like a taboo relationship. So it could be considered a relationship that just doesn't go with societal beliefs, and all that could be is like the woman makes more money than the man. That could be a non-traditional relationship. Based on traditional standards, the man is the provider. But non-traditionally, women make a lot of money as well. And so in that case, that would be considered a non-traditional relationship, where the woman makes more money than the man, or the man is to stay at home. That's considered a non-traditional. And that usually incurs a lot of gossip from outsiders, people who, didn't get to experience that type of life. So, usually it's older people And what it says, it would also be an energy of you guys maybe it might entail other people, like it could be family, friends, or other lovers that may be like intermingled in this could be like one of those taboo type of relationships where you guys just really love each other, and there's like a soulmate bond, a soulmate connection, but you guys are pretty much like doing your own thing, like, you know, focusing on your own thing, but it has potential. So it's like that energy of they know that they would fluctuate between being very loving, very very comforting, very intimate, very sexual, you know what I mean, like a soulmate type of bond, and then it would fluctuate between being a relationship where you have to be very independent and kind of take care of your own needs and enjoy yourself and entertain yourself, you know what I mean, finding some other way to like entertain yourself. So it wouldn't be like a consistent relationship. This would be a relationship that it could be kind of rocky. It could cause a lot of strife, and it would cause a lot of stress, you know what I mean, and they know this about this relationship. You know, there would be a need to do a lot of clarity. Like there would be a need to clarify all the time. Okay, like communication is so much of a key here, and about expressing how they feel is like super important. You know what I mean? Like they would have to learn that skill. And maybe they already know this, but this is like, so what it's saying for you though is if you are brave enough to say goodbye, life will reward you with a new hello. So this relationship wouldn't have been built for you. This would have taught you how to release it. So this is what this was for. Their higher self knows that this is the best thing for them to do is release it, because they would have been pretty much dragging you along. You know what I mean? This wouldn't have, they would have needed to do skills that are very hard for them to do, which is self-reflect, to see where they are the problem at, you know, to express and to communicate how they truly feel, like what's really bothering them, what's really deep down. That's a struggle. You know what I mean? They would do a lot of like secret affairs or secret lovers or people who are hidden, who you wouldn't really see. It could be on both sides. Like it would encourage you both to be single yet in a relationship. And that might not work for you, because it says that this would cause a lot of tension and a lot of power struggles. So there would be like the mirroring effect of where, well, it's not a mirroring effect because a square doesn't really represent a mirroring effect. This would be more about like the pros and cons of like maybe peeping out like, okay, well, they would be good for this. Let's say that maybe they're providers, so you may just keep them around as a wallet, you know what I mean, or they're very good at sex, so you may just keep them around for sex, because we got 8th house here. So this is more about like a sexual attraction, a more physical, carnal attraction. This isn't really, it's not really rooted in intimacy, you know what I mean. This relationship, their higher self knows that this relationship is more built on intimacy, sexual, you know, sex, power dynamics, you know, the control aspect of love, that power dynamic of love and sex, you know what I mean, where it's just trying to get control of another person and using either money, sex, emotions, or other types of resources to gain control of a relationship dynamic, you know. But it would teach you to hold your vision on what it is that you really wanted in a relationship, you know. So their higher self knows that this would teach them to find what it is that they really wanted in a relationship, you know what I mean, as well as how to sense potential, or how to like notice when a relationship has potential to grow. And this would teach both of you that. This is what their higher self knows, you know, that this is a soulmate bond, this is a soulmate connection, because we have the lovers. So it is a soulmate bond and a soulmate connection, but this would encourage so much work and so much stress and tension on both parties that you guys would have to learn to be independent first. And so that's what their higher self is picking up. It's teaching them to release things that are too much of a burden, and to keep in mind what is your finished product, or what is your finished goal that you're looking for in terms of relationships. So this would be more so rooted in just, you know, physical, all right? And that's what would be clarified through this. And their higher self knows that. It just picks that up. Like this would be more work than what it was worth, but it would still be a transformative relationship, but it would be more so based on carnal, love, lust, sex, power, control, obsession, jealousy, you know what I mean? It would be in that type of energy, and there would be the need to really clearly leave open lines of communication open at all times. And that might be a lot of work, because there would be other people involved. There would be family, there would be friends, there would be possibly other lovers, there would be just people that would be on the outside, and they were already aware of that. And they have, I guess they have issues with either trusting in their own intuition, because you have a 2 swords here, so they can have an issue of trusting in their own intuition when it comes to what has potential in terms of relationships. Because like maybe they assess people wrongly. Like maybe they think that You know, because this vibe gives off superficial. So meaning that they're only looking at the physical, you know what I mean, of resources, of what they can gain or get from other people. So they're only looking at what they could get from other people. And so they fluctuate between wanting to be like in a love that is very intense and very fulfilling, you know what I mean? And between being like on their own and kind of like scratching for grubs, if I'm being general, like scratching for grubs and just having fun, you know, taking care of themselves. Like they may fluctuate between that energy of taking care of themselves, you know what I mean, and just kind of like, you know, going out when they can and sharing with friends and homies and girlfriends or whatever, you know, wherever you're dating. They have that energy of wanting to be by themselves and you know, maybe harness their potential up for themselves or for friends or just for like good times. They don't really want, you know, they fluctuate between wanting to be in an everlasting love and to being like single and just, you know, a lonely man or lonely girl, you know, but not really tripping, just like enjoying themselves. Like they just really want to have like a rock star lifestyle right now. They just want to ball. They just want to have fun. They want to have entertainment. You know, this could be a younger person because I'm getting to age 23. I'm seeing, well, 46. I see 46 here. I see 37. I see 27. So maybe that age, you know, they may not be that old. And then we have 37 here again. So they may or may not be old, you know, but they're kind of young. And so they just really want to just enjoy themselves. That's really what this is all about. This is what their higher self says, that this would cause you guys to have to negotiate, and it would be very difficult to negotiate, you know, but it could be done, but it would be very difficult, and the advice would be to release it, you know what I mean? So here's your advice. It says, dear one, it is time to settle. Create a sacred space where you can rest in a place of rest. Oh, it says, dear one, it is time to settle. Create a sacred space where you can be. In that place of rest, healing will unfold. So yeah, this is about, you know, this, their higher self knows that it's best for you to let go or for them to let go. This would have, you know, if you guys are still dealing with each other, I'm surprised that they haven't ghosted you if they didn't, or if you guys haven't had some type of, I'm sure they probably would ghost you because it doesn't, like, in order for them to grow in this relationship, they would have to know how to very well communicate their truest, deepest feelings and their fears. This person struggles with fear of intimacy and of allowing people to get closer to them, you know, and of communicating what their fears of intimacy are. So they would be like a runner. This would be like a runner-chaser dynamic, and this would cause a lot of stress, a lot of drama, and they know that already. Their higher self knows this. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. This your boy Noonie, and it's Leo in the third house.
So if you picked the River Rock, this is going to be your pile. Okay, so that would have been pile 2 or the River Rock. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into your reading and find out what your person's higher self thinks of this connection. Okay, so we have taken for granted. Okay, that is your oracle, taken for granted. So your person's higher self is feeling like your person takes you for granted, or there's some sort of energy that's just like not appreciated in this connection. It could be either way. I'm not really sure yet, but I kind of feel like it's this person's higher self, but we'll just see what the cards are. So I'm going to be looking at what is guarding this, what ancestor is, or what totem is guarding this connection. And we have the turtle. So the ancestor coming through is very wise. And they also are explaining that, it's an energy of obviously moving slow, but a very protective spirit is watching over this connection, over this person. They kind of, if it's interesting because this person's higher self feels like it doesn't align with, it does align, but it's like they're opposite. Okay, so your person's higher self is very ancient or like very wise, and like it gives me a sage energy, and then your person is giving me this very fiery energy or this very impulsive energy. So it must be like this person's higher self incarnated here to experience a more fast life, because that's what I'm getting. It's very interesting, but let me see what these cards are saying. We have Grand Trine, blessings. So I feel like this person's higher self is saying that this connection actually is going to be beneficial in some way, shape, or form. Okay, either it's going to be through lessons that you learn from this person, or this connection actually might grow into something more. We just kind of have to see what the tarot is saying here, but this person's spirit higher self is saying that this connection is actually a positive connection. Whatever you're experiencing in it, I know you guys are probably like, what? If you're not, if it's not a good connection, you're like, Harley, I don't see no blessing in this. But we usually don't. A lot of times as humans, we don't see the blessing in things until it's like, oh my God, I'm so glad that happened because this, it's like that. So we have the Two of Swords. Your person feels like your person's higher self feels like your person doesn't communicate with them. So again, I feel a disconnect between the higher self and your person. So it feels like your person, if they're spiritual, they're not spiritual. Like they don't look at spirituality from an inward perspective. They might be believing in something outside of the self because they're not really connecting with their spiritual self, their higher self. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, interesting. So again, this person's higher self is speaking about the actual fact that this connection is a divine connection, that it was meant to happen, that there is a reason why this person is in your life. If you are questioning that, they're saying there's destiny behind this connection. Okay. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. So again, slow moving energy coming through from the higher self, very slow moving. They're also speaking about the fact that this person is committal. Like some of you guys don't see this person as committal, and I can see why, but the higher self that's coming through here is saying that this person actually is someone who's going to commit at some point in their life, but there's something about maturity or just not wanting to be in a rush to commit. So far we have Libra, Sag, and they definitely could be a Virgo or another earth sign because of just the slow energy here. And we have the Two of Cups. Yeah, and that's right under the Blessings card. So I feel like this person's higher self is saying that they see a relationship with you two in the future. That's kind of what I'm saying. But I do see with the Two of Swords next to the Wheel of Fortune that there is some blocks here, or things are being held up, or they're not moving at the pace that you would want them to. But at the overall outcome, I see the Two of Cups, which is a counterpart card for me with the yin yang at the top. So it feels like, again, this higher self is saying that this is a soulmate connection. This connection is very destined. There's a lot of destiny behind it, especially with the Blessings card. Okay. I do feel like some of you, they are saying, maybe even for you watching, that this connection is teaching you how to slow down. Because I'm hearing Slow Down by I want to say it was Skip Marley and her. Slow down, let me get to love you. I'm hearing, I think it is. I don't know which word of Marley's it is. I think it is Skip, but don't get me lying. But I love that song. But I'm hearing that in my head. So yeah, we have the Five of Cups. Like this connection, I'm telling you guys, it's been tough because it's moving slow. Like I definitely get that's what's bothering a lot of you. Somebody has a fast moving energy in this connection. I feel like it might be you guys. Not saying that it hasn't been a while, but they're saying like you want things to happen right now in this connection. And obviously with the Wheel of Fortune here, it is definitely supposed to happen when it's meant to. It also talks about purpose and destiny. So if you are not aligned with your destiny, or if this person is not, that also is causing a lot of blockages as well. So you want to make sure that you know where you're supposed to be going, what direction you're supposed to be in. Don't be just watching these readings to find out what's going on with somebody. Actually do it to like develop the self. Okay. So we have the Sun card, really positive energies coming in. I can see why the Blessings card is here. So, you know, it doesn't feel like this person's trying to harm you. The Ten of Swords, interesting. This person may also move slow because they've been hurt in the past, or this is like trying to tell you to slow down as well. It's something here about someone learning how to move slower. So maybe this person did connect with this particular higher self because this person's trying to learn the energy of, or they will be connecting with this higher self because they're not right now. With the Two of Swords and the Five of Cups, this person may actually drink, or they may do something that is disconnecting them from their higher self. This person may actually also suffer from like emotional discord, like mental issues or depression, because they're not connected with their higher self. Their higher self is very wise, very paternal. It feels very masculine, but it feels very positive too. Like it gives me Yoda, or like an energy of somebody who doesn't worry. Like that's probably why I got the Marley. Don't worry about things. Maybe somebody smokes too. That could also be a thing. But you know, whatever. Anyway, but yeah. So the Ten of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. Somebody could have gotten hurt before in the past, and they take things slow now. You know. See, here we go, that Knight of Wands. I think that's your person. I think your person is this Knight of Wands. I'm telling you guys. So this person's been hurt in the past, either as a child. For some of you, they've had some sort of hurt that happened around teenage years with this Knight of Pentacles that shaped the way that they see relationships. And that is why this person moves slow and why they're non-committal. This person's higher self basically wants you to know that this is going to be a committed relationship. Whether you don't see it or not, whether you just can't see it because of how this person is, whatever, that's what this person's higher self is saying to me. That this person will mature, that this relationship will come together. It's just not time for it to, if it hasn't already. Okay. For a lot of you guys, I feel it's actually sooner than what you think for it to come out in this position, but it's up to you. You know, it's your storyline. But again, the signs are Libra, Sagittarius, Virgo. We have Cancer, Scorpio, Leo, Gemini, and we have Sagittarius again. Okay. So yeah, that's what I have for you, River Rock Pile. Like, Your person's higher self is basically telling you have to be patient with this person. Something happened to this person, possibly around their teenage years. I'm not making a excuse for it, but in the Knight of Pentacles also talks about improvement. So this person they actually are going through a cycle of improvement right now. And at the end of this relationship, when it's all said and done, you and this person are going to be together because it's meant for you to. I'm hearing We Belong Together by Mariah Carey. Oh my God, so dramatic. But that's what I have for you, River Rock Pile. I hope that this makes sense. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I appreciate your support. And we're going to go ahead and get into the next pile. Okay, what's up, pile 3, or the amethyst crystal, whichever one you chose. This is going to be your reading if you chose the crystal or you just chose pile 3, because I always choose pile 3. But anyway, this is your pile. We're going to be looking at what your person's higher self thinks about this connection. This has been a very interesting reading to say, like, that whole thing. But anyway, let's go ahead and see what this person's higher self thinks about you. I'm so interested. Let's see. So we have vices. Pile 3, I love how we live on the wild side. We laugh in the face of danger. Ha 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 ha. I don't know why I just got Lion King. So I don't know. Maybe somebody likes Lion King. Maybe somebody's a Leo. I don't know. So this person's higher self feels like this connection has a bit of toxicity to it. I can already tell you that. With the vices here, they feel like you two might be addicted to each other, or this person could be addicted to you. There is definitely some sort of energy of addiction here. But interestingly enough, with the butterfly on this card, I feel like there is an energy of this connection supposed to be like helping someone evolve out of that. Okay, so to further confirm this, the animal totem guarding this connection is the vulture. So vultures, as you guys know, are kind of toxic in a sense. Like, we kind of look at them as, lower natured beings because they tend to feast on like carcasses and scraps and shit like that. But actually vultures are associated with Oshun as well. So what that tells me, for a lot of you, this is a very handsome, pretty couple. You guys look good together. And you guys probably are very physically attracted to each other. There's probably a very Venetian quality to this connection. Lots of sexual energy, lots of good food, that type of vibe in this connection. So you guys have like a lustful energy, but it's also very quality. So this is a very bougie connection. Like, doesn't feel like y'all are no regular Joe Schmoes or James. Like y'all are giving some sort of like aesthetically pleasing couple. We'll put it that way. Okay. So very interesting. That's what your person's higher self is saying so far, but they are talking about some sort of lower vibrational energy in this connection. We have to acknowledge that with the vulture and the vices. Okay. So we have Virgo, analyze, which is the hermit to me. So I feel like this connection, this person's higher self is saying that this connection, again, is focused on improvement. Okay. It's really showing both of you how you can improve, where you can improve. Maybe some of your lower nature, maybe some of your vices are being shown, maybe your addiction. Some of you guys might be addicted to each other sexually, and maybe what you're willing to do when you feel that way about somebody. Like, there's something here about that. It definitely talks about improvement here, okay? You have a very smart energy coming through. Like, this person's very smart. Their higher self is also very smart, very analytical. This is somebody who thinks about improvement. This is someone who's very self-aware. They're very connected to their higher self. They just don't listen to it because this person knows that they need to improve on things. They actually are the type of person that probably tells everyone else where they can improve, but they don't do it themselves. So yeah, it's interesting. Somebody may actually be a teacher to the other one in this connection, by the way. With this Virgo here, I do feel like there's a hermit energy. So it could either be you or this person. There's definitely somebody in this connection that's showing up as a teacher here. And it could just be vice versa. I don't know, but we'll see what the tarot says. We have the Star. So somebody has a famous energy to them. I was getting that with the Oshun energy. Somebody has like, that song Star by Jeremiah. I thought I told you I'm a star. So there could be a star quality to somebody here, or a YouTuber energy here. Okay, somebody might actually be like a self-improvement person on YouTube, or, you help people improve, or this person does that. Because I'm just getting that here automatically with the Star. We have the Eight of Swords. So yeah, one of you, okay, so let's just put it this way. This person's higher self is saying that both of you have a very, I want to say this, a little bit of a dark side, or like you guys, it gives me Joker Harley vibes. Like when you guys are together, like if you ever seen video with Kendrick Lamar and Rihanna for Loyalty, when they just were going around causing, like, you guys have that type of connection. But it also feels like Hancock when Charlize Theron, shout out to my birthday twin, she did her thing in that movie. She smacked his shit out of him with that truck. You know how many motherfuckers I wish I could smack with a truck. Anyway, see, it's that type of vibe. So somebody in this connection, could be the feminine, just saying, I don't know, is more powerful or more in tune with their power. So it's like teaching the other one to be in their power. I just got like two powerful energies, like gods or goddesses. And one of them is more connected to their higher self, and the other one is more like in their lower vibrational and doesn't know who they are. So it feels like one of you is showing the other one who they are. I don't know who it is. I don't know. This is a very interesting reading. We have the Seven of Pentacles, okay? And we have the Chariot. Interesting. So self-empowerment is a big thing here. There's somebody is calling this person up. Like, if you want to get with me, listen, if you want to get with me, you better listen carefully. I got what is up, Spice Girls? Not that. So somebody was born in the 90s watching this. But anyway, like, yeah, somebody has to like step it up. And they have to not only step it up with like their game and all that, but it's like step it up in their who they are in this world. Like, somebody needs to accept that they are a healer too. Somebody's already a healer in this connection, and they're like, okay, I feel like it's you watching. Obviously, it could be you watching tarot, but it doesn't matter. This person's higher self, yes, this person's higher self is saying that you watching, you're helping this person level up to who they're meant to be, like a manifester. You know what I mean? Like Danny Zuko with the magic wand. I don't know. I guess that's what that's giving. But yeah, so like if Danny Zuko told his friends he was practicing magic, right? Like, could you imagine that in Greece? They're not gonna be cool with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he was already acting funny to Sandy because his friends was saying shit. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you guys are helping somebody accept that they have like a spiritual quality, that they want to be online, that they want to, or if they're already online, that they want to step it up, that they want to do more. Like, there's some sort of confidence that you are instilling in this person, especially if you are dealing with Oshun energy, or you have like Aquarius in your chart, Gemini, Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, or you are already like a spiritual influencer, okay? We have the Five of Cups that came out in both readings. We have the Page of Pentacles, learning from you. This is somebody who's learning from you. This might have actually, this person's higher self is saying they apologize for how this person has treated you because of who you are. Like, this person's been probably jealous. This person's probably been not treating you the best because they kind of don't envy you, but they wish they had that power that you have, or that you accept and move with. They wanted to do that. So now it's like they want to, this person is saying, their higher self is saying that this person wants to ask you to like connect with them, join with them, teach them. But it kind of feels like they may have already put their foot in their mouth, or they were already prideful to you in some way. With the Ace of Wands, I'm telling you, big manifestor energy, big wand energy. You're waiting on this person. You're like, I know your ass is coming. Come on, bring your ass. No, that's not the right wand. I told you to go bring your cedar wine. We not doing that tonight. You like that. You like, come on, I've been waiting on your ass. You over here already building, working on your shit. And then now here they come. What is a mugwort? What does mugwort do? Or what did you say to put in them candles? I done told you. You know what I'm saying? So it's something like that. It's definitely giving a teacher-student vibe. If there's love here, definitely. There's love. And trust me, there's a lot of passion. And it's going to be reconnecting here. If y'all don't see that, there's going to be some reconnecting on that vibe. But I'm also getting that this is a higher purpose. This is for two people to be in their power. Okay? And then we have the Knight of Cups. So they're going to step correctly. I feel like this person is maturing. They're maturing, especially in the area of emotional expression, because this person, like I said, they didn't know how to handle this emotionally. This person has like held so much back that they don't know how to process their power, their emotions. You know how to do that. Some of you guys have strong Cancer in your chart, might show up as Leo. But so far I see Aquarius, Gemini, Taurus, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Aries, Capricorn. And this could be anywhere in your chart, sidereal, Vedic, doesn't matter, Western, okay? So don't be surprised if this person comes back around to you. And it's going to be in a totally different energy. It's going to be more of a, I don't want to say humble, but more of like how they really always should have treated you. Like they should be thankful for the fact that you're, you know, teaching them. But it feels like they were resenting you They were resenting you at the beginning here. Okay, maybe for some of you because you've already got some sort of platform or something. But that's what I have for you. Okay, Amethyst, I hope that this makes sense. Let me know what you guys think. And I hope that you enjoyed this. And I will see you guys in the next pile. Bye.
Yo, what's up with it? This your boy Noonie, and that's Leo in the third house. If you chose the rose quartz pile, then this is your reading for how does their higher self feel about this connection. So let's see. So how does their higher self feel about this connection? So you could be dealing with a Cancer, could be dealing with a Scorpio, could be dealing with a Virgo, could be dealing with a Pisces. This could be the signs that may come into your life, or who they are in your life, because it's like an energy of being aligned. This would be a solution-based type of relationship. This would be a very transformative type of relationship, actually. Excuse me. This person feels like there's a need to be loyal, and that there's a need to put work and dedication into this. This is similar to like Capricorn energy, but not quite. This is going to be very solution-based, though. That's where I really pick up, though. Like, there's going to be problems, but this person is always going to be thinking about how to make this thing work, how to, like, checkups. They're going to be wanting to do checkups, daily check-ins. Maybe they might be a person that does check-ins. They feel like this is going to be a relationship that's going to nurture them, nurture their soul, nurture their emotions, help them learn to be more tenacious about life, and pursue the things that they really care about. The things that they emotionally care about, the things that they're emotionally bonded to. This would be because we got Pluto here, which is about transforming, and recognizing power dynamics and recognizing, like, so say for instance, when I say power dynamics, it doesn't always necessarily mean in a negative way. It can be like a power dynamic would be, for instance, say as, traditionally we know that women are considered maybe the cookers and the nurturers. So let's just say instead you guys would swap, and maybe he or she, whoever decides to be more of the masculine figure, you guys switch positions to show each other, the value of each other's position. You know what I mean? It's what's called a play on power dynamics. So let's say that normally I would be the one, just give an example. I'm not saying I am, but let's say normally in a relationship I would be the one that takes care of all the bills. Then the power dynamic would be to allow her to see what it's like to take care of all the bills, and for me to be, maybe the stay-at-home dad, or to pay less, or whatever the case may be. Whatever, whatever it is about, it's like checking to see how each person has their own power and making sure to use it equally. So this is what this relationship would entail, and this is what their higher self would know. They would know that they would play on power dynamics. Now this could be a good or a bad thing, though, because whenever Pluto shows up, what it does is it pulls out the ugly parts first, and cleanses those. So it's a rebirth, because what it is it takes away the power from someone who may have been abusing it or overusing their authority. And it teaches someone who might have been in a weaker position how to take their power back. And then at that point, it's on that person to decide where they would want to take it. So your higher self, their higher self in this matter, would know that this relationship would be teaching them about push-pull dynamics and about their deeper aspects, the hidden aspects that they don't like to deal with. This would be more about dedication and progress, devotion. This is what this relationship would entail. Their higher self would tell them that this is about devotion, that they would need to actually be responsible in this manner, that they would have to learn to be more like a problem solver. They would have to know how to find new possibilities and be able to grow. Because this is about being reliable and being resilient. So they would need to be able to do that. Some advice here, it says, people being led by spirit do not make any sense to those who are not. So they would basically have to be on their own accord. They would have to take their own, because you got solar plexus chakra here as well, which is having to do with personal power, strength, confidence, inner strength, inner courage. So they would need to be that type of person who's bold enough. This is what their higher self would know this relationship would entail, because they would have to learn to start, just as high priestess. So they would have to learn how to actually start trusting in their own intuition and not listening to the crowd or not listening to society's beliefs. They would have to be, a man or a woman of their own. They wouldn't be a person who, conforms to other people's beliefs. They would have pretty much a strong sense of self, because they would be tapped into their own instincts and their own emotional well-being. This is what their higher self would know would come from this relationship. The ability to be able to create and manifest prosperity, because you got an Ace of Coins or Ace of Pentacles, which would be about, building something stable, which is also like a gift from the universe, because it comes out of nowhere. And with the energy is gaining momentum, this would be an energy of being able to create quickly, manifest quickly, great abundance, great prosperity. So their higher self knows that this would be a good transformative relationship that would involve a lot of emotional depth and a lot of loyalty. And this is what they would learn. They would learn how to be very loyal, and there would be a change and a rebirth in them, and there would be a change in the dynamic, or a change in the it would be a change in how they see themselves or how they've seen the world. This would be a life-changing relationship for both of you, because that's what Pluto represents in general. This would be a life-changing relationship for both of you. Anytime there's a Plutonian connection, it's a life-changing relationship. Sometimes people consider it a karmic, and sometimes when Saturn is when there's a Saturn conjunction, or Saturn like some Saturn placements, some Saturn synastry, then sometimes we call that karmic. But for Pluto, I see that more as like a karmic relationship when it's Pluto. And karmic doesn't always mean necessary. It just means that there's going to be a lot of life lessons, and this would be a transformative relationship. It'd be a relationship that neither one of you guys would forget. And that's what their higher self is telling them, is letting them know, like, this would be a relationship that you'll never forget. It would involve a lot of familial ties, and a lot of looking and introspecting at like family beliefs, traditional beliefs, family values, core values. A lot of those things would be coming up to play, and a lot of those things would be coming up where you guys would have to be intermingling or working together to find a solution, and swapping ideas, letting a lot of thoughts play out. You would actually have to basically trust in your own instinct, trust in your own guidance, and to move forward, and there would be an energy of letting go of control. That's the big thing, because Pluto represents control, the need to possess. It's Scorpio energy, so it's possess, jealousy. It's obsession. You know what I mean? So that's what Pluto rules, and so it pulls these emotions up out of us. And so this is what this would be doing, and you guys would have to find solutions on how to deal with that. You know what I mean? How to take responsibility for that. And it would also create, because I see the Virgo energy, it would also create a healthy sense of independence. All right, this is what your higher self knows. Like, there would be a form of self-love, and an energy of like unconditional love, and an energy of wanting to nurture yourself and nurture others, just unconditionally, genuinely. All right, their higher self knows that this would be a self-reevaluation. This is what this would be with a Four of Pentacles in reverse. This is self-evaluation. This is rehashing, re-looking at things that were once considered stable to you, which once considered security. This relationship would shake that up. It would make you, kind of question what you considered stable, what you considered, reliable, what you considered, as like a success in terms of relationships. It would change the way you see these things, so I just feel like this would be like a sacred relationship. This would definitely be a pivotal relationship. And your higher self would be calling out to you to let you know that this relationship is going to change your life should you get into it. Now, don't think that it's all sweet, because this would be a relationship where you'll feel conflicted. So their higher self knows that they would feel very conflicted, and that they would have to grow, but that this would align them to their purpose, and that this would align them towards prosperity. But they would have to get out of the energy of worrying about how other people see them or what other people think, because that's something that's keeping them from surrendering. It's keeping them from actually like allowing themselves into the relationship. Now, they could, you could already be in the relationship, and that's something different. But if they're not in a relationship, this would allow them to be able to relax into the relationship without needing to try to control every aspect. You know what I mean? Because with the Pluto here, there's that energy of knowing that there's a push-pull dynamic. There's that energy of wanting to control one person or dominate the other person, in effect to not get hurt. You know what I mean? So that's what their higher self would know. Like, that the relationship would make you want to control, but it would teach you to release control of what you think things should be or how things should be, and you will allow life to flow. And so that's what they would get into. They would get into an energy of centering themselves, an energy of being at more peace, more accepting, more not passive, but they would be able to like release resentment, shame, guilt, anxiety, stress, lack of confidence. They would have this relationship would help them gain these things, like gain, the ability to be confident about themselves, the ability to basically go out there and put themselves out in a way that gives them their own personal or personal authority. It would also give them an energy of being able to not have to worry about how other people see them, you know, because that's what that solar plexus chakra is about putting yourself out there in the physical with confidence of your individuality. And so that's what this would give them, because they'd be struggling with this if they didn't go into this relationship. Or, you know, they probably, if they found another relationship, it could happen. But as far as this connection, their higher self knows that this is the lessons that they would get out of this, that they would get that energy of being aligned with where they are and centering themselves within their own body or within their own spirit. Like they would be more confident about who they are and more receptive to new opportunities and releasing shame, guilt, and resentment from past experiences that didn't work the way that they expected them to. You know, because this relationship would deal with a lot about expectancy, but of needing to trust their own intuition and of needing to persist and be very resilient and pushing through even when they don't understand control, or even when they don't understand, you know, necessarily the full assignment. When they can't see the full picture, it's still that kind of energy where they're going to need to push forward and just be brave. So that's what their higher self knows, that they would need to be solution-based and brave and courageous and, you know, pretty much a strong, independent person to make this, you know, make this relationship a reality, or make this, you know, manifestation come through in terms of, you know, connecting with you. You know, so that is what I got. Thanks for watching. This your boy Noonie, and this Leo in the third house.